What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video. This is your boy Spiffy Fates. I hope you guys are having a blessed day. So on this tutorial, this is the first time that I cut this client, and I ended up convincing him to try something different. He normally would get a haircut with the number 1 guard, and we ended up doing a low fade with the 0.5 and tapering out the sides and the back. So change is good. It's good to try to convince your clients from time to time to try something different. If you're able to execute a quality haircut, there's a high possibility that that client will come back with you, since most of the time what happens after they get a haircut and you do something different, since they're used to getting the same haircut with the same barber or going to different barbers getting the same haircut, and you change it up a little bit, they will go home, go to work, go to school. Most of the time they will get compliments, and by getting compliments, of course, that makes anybody feel good. So next time that that client needs a haircut, guess what? They're going to think about you. So give advice based on your experience. Of course, not all clients are going to take it, but that's what's going to make you different from other barbers. So enough with the chit chat. Let's go ahead and check out this video. Stay tuned. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into this haircut. So first we're going to prep our area by debulking using the number 3 guard open. Alright, so now with our lever open, no guard, we're going to start with our first guideline. Alright, so now that we got the first guideline out the way, we're going to start to blend in, and we're going to first be working on the left side of the haircut till we're almost done, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so with the half guard, we're going up about a finger's width. Alright, so now with the number 1 guard open, we're going to be working on the line that was left in between the 3 guard and the half guard, and we're going to remove this line by opening and closing the lever as needed. Remember, if you go up, the lever is open, and if you work your way down, you start to close the lever. Now with our 1.5 guard open, we're going to connect whatever's left into the 3 by doing the same technique, opening and closing the lever. Alright, so now we're going to connect from the parietal ridge to the top. I prefer to use this technique with the comb and shears, since I feel that it leaves a smoother transition from the bottom up. Sometimes if you use a clipper over comb, you will end up cutting more than you have to. So you don't have to cut it like this. This is just my preference. I could also do it with clipper over comb. I've just been doing it like this for a long time, so it's something that I just got used to. Alright, so now with my trimmers, I'm going to clean up the bottom part of this taper and going over it with my shavers. I don't want to go too high up on this taper, since it's the first time this client gets this type of hairstyle. Alright, so now with my Wahl 1919 clippers, I'm going to start to blend in this taper. I have my lever completely closed, and I'm going to open the lever little by little as I work my way up. Alright, so if I see any dark spots, I'm going to open and close my lever as needed. Alright, so this haircut is starting to come together. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and check out the next step. Okay, so right here I'm doing some final touches to perfect this blend by opening and closing my half guard, and just making sure if any spots are needed to be touched, to touch it up. If not, we'll just go ahead and move on. Alright, so now we're going to be cleaning the C cup. We're going to try to leave it as natural as possible. I don't want to dig in too much. Alright, so now we're going to copy and paste and repeat the same steps on this side. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so right here we're going to connect our guideline with the 0.5 lever open before we begin the blending process. Alright, so with our 0.5 guard, we're going to go up about a finger's width, and as we work our way down, we're going to close the lever little by little, and we're going to be opening and closing the lever to fade in this guideline. Going to be repeating those steps with the 1 guard and the 1.5 guard. Alright, so now that we have a rough draft, let's go ahead and begin the bottom part of this taper. Okay, so I am aware that I left the line that I didn't fade out completely, so I didn't want to spend more time in the back detailing, so we're going to go ahead and move on by edging the nape area on both sides, so we could go ahead and complete the back part of the taper. So something that I have noticed, whenever you feel that you're taking too long on one area, it's always good to move forward and continue with your process of fading, and then you could go back and work your way to detail whatever was left. Sometimes that helps you move faster. Instead of holding you back, it's pushing you forward. A lot of the time, a lot of us, instead of doing this, we end up staying on that same specific spot, and it takes us a lot longer to complete the haircut. The way that I like to work is making sure everything is nice and organized, making sure I shave every single hair, that I'm not leaving anything behind, so that way I know I don't have to go back and touch up the bottom part at least. So now we're going to begin the blending process of this taper. With our clipper completely closed, I'm going to work on the bottom part of the guideline, and I'm going to be opening the lever as I work my way up. So guys, make sure that you always have a brush on your opposite hand, making sure you clean the surface of your fade, so that way you have full visibility of what you're doing. So now we're going to connect the next section with our half guard, and we're going to be opening and closing the lever. So right here on top of the occipital bone, there's an indent, so you have to make sure you use the corners to really get in there and make the hair a little bit lighter, since as you could tell, it looks pretty dark. So now we're going to be working on the top, and we're going to create 3 sections, and we're going to make the first guideline in the middle. Okay, so working our way from the back to the front, we're going to be removing about an inch and a half or so to the front. Okay, so now that we have our guideline, we're going to comb the hair forward, and we're going to work from the left to the right, connecting the hair from the left to the middle of the guideline, and we're going to be doing this in an angle, so that way it gives it a better head shape. Okay, so at the same time that I'm working from the front to the back, I'm also cross-checking my work to make sure there is not a long hair left behind. So right here you might have to cut a little bit more than the middle part of the haircut. The longest part of the haircut is going to be the middle. The left and the right are going to be a bit shorter, since we wanted to give it shape and we want to connect to the sides so that way it has a smooth transition. So now we're going to be doing a little bit of point cutting. We're not going in too deep, so this is just to make it smoother when the hair is dry. Alright, so now with our thinning shears, we're going to remove a little bit of volume by cutting from the middle to the tip of the hair. Avoid going too low to the scalp. Okay, so removing volume will help for the hair to lay down. In this case, we're combing it to the back. So we just took off very little since it was not very necessary. But if they have very thick hair, it definitely helps out. You just have to make sure you don't remove too much, or else instead of helping the problem, it's going to make it worse. Okay, so what I like to do with a blow dryer with middle to hot heat, I first like to comb it to get the shape that I'm looking for, and once I achieve that, then I use the cold so it could stay in the position that I want it to. So normally the hair is elastic. With heat it stretches out a little bit, and with the cold temperature then it stays firm. Alright, so now we're going to be applying a little bit of gel. So what I like to do is spray a little bit of water on my hand, very little, just so I could spread out the gel evenly on all the hair. And we're going to be doing a natural side part just to give it a little bit more style. Alright, so this is a before and this is the after. So he's looking nice and sharp. Let me know what you guys think about this taper, this combination. So stay tuned to the next drop. It was a pleasure. Like always, stay spiffy, stay ready, stay blessed. See you guys next time. Peace.